When my wife, Aurelia, told me she was heading to a reunion with her college friends, I didn't think much of it. She had been distant for months, but I blamed it on work pressure. "It's just a few days in Chicago," she said while packing. "You trust me, right?" That should have been my first warning sign. People with nothing to hide don't ask for reassurance. I smiled and replied, "Of course." Yet there was something off about her excitement, the way she constantly checked her phone, those secretive little smiles, the new laundry she quietly slipped into her bag. I noticed it all. I just stayed silent. That night, after she fell asleep, I peeked at her messages. Normally, I wouldn't, but my instinct screamed something was wrong. What I saw made my stomach turn. A long conversation thread with her ex, Darian, the man she always insisted was just a friend. These messages weren't casual. They were explicit. "Can't wait to see you again." "Same hotel," he wrote. "Same room," she replied. My hands shook, but I didn't confront her. I just stared at the screen until I felt numb. 11 years of marriage, and she was planning to betray me under the guise of nostalgia. But instead of anger, a cold clarity settled over me. The next morning, she acted as if nothing had happened. She kissed my cheek and said, "Don't wait up for me." I smiled and said, "Have fun, babe." She paused for a brief moment, perhaps thrown off by my composure. Soon after, her suitcase rolled down the driveway, and she hummed a tune as she left. The moment her car disappeared, I made a call to an old friend, Cale, a private investigator. "Follow her," I instructed. "No interference, just watch." He didn't question me. He'd seen enough marriages crumble to know the signs. Within hours, photos started arriving, Aurelia checking into the hotel alone, then meeting Darian at the bar. My pulse stayed steady. I had a plan. That evening, I booked a last-minute flight to Chicago. I wasn't going there to argue or beg, I wanted the truth, straight from her. I checked into the same hotel under an alias and told Cale to keep watching. Around 8 p.m., he messaged, "They're heading up to room 812. My chest tightened, but I stayed composed. I took the elevator up and stood outside the room. Faint laughter floated out. Hers. The sound I once cherished now felt hollow. I drew in a deep breath, knocked twice, and waited. The door opened. Darian stood there, half-buttoned shirt, shock written all over his face. Behind him, Aurelia froze like a ghost. "Silas," she whispered. "What are you doing here?" I smiled, calm and steady. "Business trip," I said. "Didn't expect to run into you." Darian tried to speak, but I raised a hand. "Relax. I'm not here to fight." My voice was low, controlled. "I only came to say 2 words. Aurelia's eyes darted nervously, her lips trembling. "What 2 words?" she asked. I looked at her, really looked, and said quietly, "We're done." Those words struck harder than any shouting match could. She stumbled, eyes wide, tears welling. "Silas, please wait. It's not what it looks like." "No," I said softly. "It's exactly what it looks like." Darian stepped forward, puffing up like some kind of hero. "Hey man, she's not happy with you. Let her go." I turned slowly to him, calm as ever. "Darian, you can have her. Just make sure you can afford her." He frowned. "What does that mean?" I handed Aurelia an envelope. "Divorce papers. Signed by me." She only needed to add her signature. Then I looked at Darian. "Oh, and you might want to check your company email tomorrow. HR usually frowns on employees sleeping with a client's wife." Darian's face drained. "What, you the client?" I nodded. "The biggest one his firm had." Aurelia looked like she might faint. "Silas, please, not here," she whispered. "You chose this," I said calmly. "You chose him. This room. This ending." I turned to leave, but she grabbed my wrist, sobbing. "Silas, I made a mistake." I held her gaze. "No, Aurelia. You made a choice. I'm just finishing it." I walked out, leaving her standing there half-dressed, humiliated, broken. On the flight home, I didn't cry. I didn't even think. I just felt free. Years of subtle disrespect, manipulation, and guilt-tripping dissolved in those two calm words. Back home, I blocked her number, called my lawyer, and instructed him to file immediately. By the next morning, word had spread. Darian lost his job. His reputation, gone. Aurelia called from unknown numbers, left tearful voicemails. I didn't answer. My words had already said it all. Weeks later, I ran into one of her friends at a cafe. She said Aurelia wasn't doing well, moved back with her parents, jobless, ashamed, barely eating. I nodded silently. Some people only grasp your value after losing your peace, not your presence. And when they finally understand, it's always too late. She asked if I still loved Aurelia. I smiled faintly. Love doesn't survive betrayal, I said. But lessons do. Months passed. Life became quieter, simpler. I focused on myself, my work, my peace. One afternoon, I received a message from an unknown number. I still can't forget the way you looked at me that night. I didn't reply. That's the essence of calm revenge. It doesn't yell. It doesn't rage. It simply ends everything, quietly and definitively. My wife planned to sleep with her ex, but my two calm words froze her. In that silence, she finally understood the truth. You never win when you betray someone who stayed calm. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support brings more real-life stories to life. Stay tuned, the next chapter is coming.